In these difficult times, America needs a leader they can count on. And that leader is Pope Bob Iger. A Pope Bob Iger presidency means lower taxes, better schools, and Disney Plus for all Americans. He's already in the Vatican. Now, put him in the White House.
Hello, I am Pope Bob Iger. Not only do I want to be Pope, but I want to be your president. Vote for me or the Twitterati will cancel you and everyone you know.
When you cast your vote, vote for the one man who will make America the happiest place on earth. Pope Bob Iger.
I have Baby Yoda's vote. What about yours? I am Pope Bob Iger, and I am approving of this message.
Coming up on the CW, it's prom night, and love is in the air. Until it's time to throw down! Sam and Miguel share a tender moment. But look who's crashing the party! Watch as young couples share a romantic dance. And fight! And dance fight! Be sure to watch an extra special episode of Kung Fu High Prom Night! Now streaming on Disney Plus. Watch as the most badass bounty hunter in the galaxy has been recast in his own series by the Mandalorian. I thought I was watching the Boba Fett show. What am I watching? See him hang out on the Ringworld from Halo. Watch him reenact fanfic when he goes nuts in a meatpacking plant with a lightsaber. Go through airport security.
I'm sorry, sir. You can't board a commercial flight with your weapons.
Be annoyed on a long-distance flight.
Ready to have your mind blown?
And buy a used starfighter from Amy Sedaris.
This is a pile of junk.
And then see him get pulled over by the space police.
Was I doing something wrong, officer?
Tamir Morrison. Pedro Pascal stars in this episode of The Mando Book of Boba Fett-lorian? All that, and we don't even get to see Baby Yoda. You know what? This show. Seriously.
Where is, for God's sake.
Hey everybody! Welcome to another episode of Naps. It's nap time. Are you sleepy? Better not be. Because Robot Shlomo is into his house. Coming up today, we get our first look at Amazon's Lord of the Rings. You want to see where $1 billion goes? You want to see how you waste $1 billion? We're about to find out. Disney has the great idea of making another Star Wars trilogy. People are engaging in football-like activities, animal news, other stuff. We got more stuff to go on. Hey, can everybody hear me? Yeah, congratulations on the awesome video count. Yeah, I have no idea, honestly, why that took off. Honestly, I really don't. As far as I'm concerned, that's a fluke. Who knows? Let's see if we can repeat it, though. Who knows? I got 6 people watching, and I just spit on the screen. Great. Big loogie on the screen here. Damn it. Yeah, so, yeah. I got 90,000 views on that video, and I got 7 people in the chat. So things are back to normal. And the cat is, no, don't chew on that. Cat is doing something weird. So anyway, yay, phlegm. That's right. I'm gonna do a trailer reaction. Yeah, I'm gonna head out to watch the game, and they should be playing the Lord of the Rings trailer by the first commercial break. So I will be watching that. And I'll see if I record a reaction live from wherever I am. And you will make 20's better than 7. not that I did not say anything bad about you guys, but you play Pokemon, yeah. So anyway, how's everybody doing this fine Sunday of people engaging in football-like activities in the U.S. in America? Happy Sunday.
the rest of the world. So let's take a look at this. So Amazon is pre-disastering this Lord of the Rings show here. Why do I say that? Because take a freaking look. Okay. Amazon, first look at the young series with sexy young cast. First of all, okay, you know what? Listen, for all the people giving me shit about, oh man, what's wrong with the boy? Why don't you have a black elf? First of all, this guy isn't black. His name is Ismael Cruz Cordova. This guy's Puerto Rican. So suck on that. Everyone who says, oh, you got a problem with black elf, your own racism led you to believe that he was black. So I don't want to hear it anymore. So eager to jump on that, play that card that you played yourself. Second of all, if this is a prequel to the main films that Peter Jackson did into the books, why are none of these characters present by the Third Age? Were they all wiped out in a genocide? Answer me that question. So apparently, Sauron has some sort of mass cleansing. The other thing, too, is here's what I want to know. Let me see. Hold on. I love Bezos is that rich does not give a fuck about losing all the money on the rings, the power. Oh, yeah, the guy's playing the world's largest game of Kerbal Space Program. So he's going to gladly flush this down the toilet. I feel like they died Game of Thrones style. Well, they probably said, well, we need strong female characters. Oh, Galadriel. Yeah. Why can't we do, who's to say Galadriel was? I'm like, because she wasn't, okay. So all the male characters are good. I guarantee all the male characters are going to sit around and do nothing while Galadriel and female characters do all the work. Clark will portray Galadriel, previously played Kate Blanchett, Lord of the Rings, yada, yada. Rings of Power set to take 1,000 years before the events of Lord of the Rings. However, there won't be many crossover characters, with Amazon creating racially diverse roles in order to modernize. I hate hearing that. we're going to modernize. I'm like, well, there is a reason why the story has lasted since the 1950s. And honestly, I thought Lord of the Rings was an older story. Because I always remember being present, but I didn't read it till I was like 31. So, but at the same time, there's a reason why these stories last as long as they do, because they got it right. Now, they're timeless to begin with. Oh, but no, we have to modernize it. Some critics have accused Amazon of trying to make Tolkien's work woke, but execs aren't backing down. Of course they're not, because they've already done all the work to shield themselves from criticism. Let me open that up. It only felt natural to us that an adaptation of Tolkien's work would reflect the world what the world actually looks like. But it's Middle Earth. It's Middle fucking Earth. Tolkien is for everyone. Nobody's saying it isn't. His stories are about fictional races doing their best work when they leave isolation of their own cultures and come together. Yeah, and? For Christ's sake. Yeah, it's going to be Galadriel Sue, yeah. Guarantee you. You're going to see Galadriel taking down Uruk-hai orcs that are 3 times her size. $1 billion over 5 seasons potentially. Oh, God, when this crashes and burns. No, they're going to commit. But if this crashes and burns in the first season, oh, boy. I can't wait to hear the excuses. Really. We got people on Twitter. Gandalf should be a woman. No. She says Judi Dench or Maori woman should play the wizard instead. No. Well, that's a tweet from 2 years ago. Meanwhile, others have feared Amazon will sex up Lord of the Rings universe following the news that series hired an intimacy coordinator to help in its frisky scenes. She looks like Jennifer Garner, this girl. But the Rings of Power showrunner Patrick McKay told Vanity Fair that Middle-earth won't be a hotbed of nudity and orgies, saying that the series will be far more family-friendly than the R-rated Game of Thrones. The goal was to make a show for everyone. For kids who are 11, 12, and 13, and even sometimes they might have to pull up a blanket over their eyes if it's a little too scary, he declared. Other parts of the series will include some Tolkien's more universal themes. It's about friendship and brotherhood and underdogs overcoming great darkness, he said. The Rings of Power is based on the Tolkien appendices, 150-page postscript. I read the appendices. This doesn't sound like anything I remember. Granted, it's been years since I read it. The rights for appendices were auctioned off. So you couldn't even get the rights to the main text. You got the rights to the appendices. Oh, I see, said the blind man as he picked up his hammer and saw. Everyone, Lord of the Rings should be replaced with Eevee from Pokemon. Highlight fails again. So there it is. There it is, folks. It's based on the appendices. So you're not even basing it on anything that's actually in the books. How did I know? I should have known. I should have known. Still, though, it doesn't help that they're going to butcher it. Amazon eventually paid a whopping $250 million for the rights. The company reportedly dropped a further $462 million for filming the first season, which will consist of 8 episodes. Production took place in New Zealand amid the pandemic. The series also be heavily promoted before it premieres in September, taking costs over $1 billion. Amazon head honchos purported to be a Tolkien obsessive, and hoping the show is a huge hit for his company, cementing its status as a competitive streaming service. He is personally a huge fan of Tolkien, incredibly passionate about all of it, and is very well versed. Jennifer Salk, head of Amazon Studios, told Vanity Fair, his desire is to be ambitious and for us to be ambitious with our content. He has always been clear from the moment I got here. This is perfectly with that big ambition to take on something that would require the whole company working together and execute well, as Jeremy Clarkson would say, ambitious but rubbish. Hey, listen, if I'm wrong, I will gladly admit I'm wrong, okay? But you know what? I don't think I am. Which leads us to the second part of the story. That they're already coming out of the woodwork. All the usual suspects are currently. They have their plan of attack. There you go. Lord of the Rings TV producers respond to the backlash over diverse casting right on schedule. And which I told you, they've done all this to shield themselves from any criticism. You had this plan from the get-go. You know, there used to be a saying in show business, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Doesn't work anymore. Not true. Lord of the Rings TV series responded to backlash over diverse casting. Tolkien is forever. Nobody is saying it isn't. Nobody said it isn't. Who is stopping you from liking Lord of the Rings? Who is stopping you? Nobody is stopping you. Oh, but people want to see themselves in the series. People want to see themselves on screen. They want to see themselves. Well, how narcissistic are you that you need to see yourself and everything? That you need to see yourself projected into everything. That as if every single piece of work is an empty pair of pants for you to slide on and off. Creative team behind the forthcoming Lord of the Rings series took part in the first look profile of Vanity Fair, during which they responded to fans' Tolkien book series have criticized. Another spittle on my screen. Criticized the show for casting its diverse actors. The new TV series, which is due to air on Amazon Prime Video in September, is set during the second age of Middle-earth, many years before the events of Peter Jackson's acclaimed big screen adaptations, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. The show will contain a number of new stories. And the characters among the new additions is an elf named Arondir. Played by Ismael Cruz Cordova, who will be the first person of color to play a Tolkien elf on screen. Oh, we the first. We have to be the first at everything because we're such open-minded millennials. I'm an open-minded millennial. Love me. Please love me. As they screech the Twitter mob. British actress Sophia Namvete will also become the franchise's first female dwarf, as well as first black woman to play a Lord of the Rings dwarf when she suits up as Disa, a dwarven princess. Lindsay Weber, an executive producer of the series, told Vanity Fair, which posted several first look photos on Instagram, that it was only natural for an adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's work to reflect the world, what the world actually looks like. That's the fucking excuse you use for everything. If it's not good, well, but we're reflecting what the world actually looks like. I grew up on the East Coast. I grew up in the inner city. I know what the world looks like. The reason why I'm watching Lord of the Rings is because I want to see something that doesn't look like the world. And the cat goes scampering. No, the story is secondary to that, Morbid. They don't care about the story. They absolutely don't care about the story, and I'm getting to that. If the Yorks sit there and cry instead of fight and pillage, I'm done. They get in touch with their feelings. Tolkien is for everyone. His stories are about fictional races doing their best work when they leave the isolation of their own cultures and come together, she said. Marina Rios Maldonado, a J.R.R. Tolkien scholar, told Vanity Fair that she believes pushback from Tolkien fans was inevitable after the show's diverse cast was announced. Obviously, there was going to be pushback and backlash. But the question is from whom? Who are these people? What are you, Jerry Seinfeld? There's going to be backlash. Who? But from who? Who are these people that feel threatened or disgusted by the idea that an elf is black or Latino or Asian? You know what I mean? He's an elf. He sits in a tree and makes cookies. Who are these people? Yeah, it's more important that you cast a Puerto Rican guy to be an elf to you rather than get the story right. Amazon announced that production on new Lord of the Rings television series had begun early this year. At the time, multiple outlets reported that the show was largely filmed in New Zealand, like Peter Jackson's films, was the most expensive television production in history with an estimated budget of $465 million for its first season. Elsewhere, during the Vanity Fair profile, producers of the series and the show said the show would not have levels of sex or violence that were seen on HBO's epic TV series Game of Thrones. Patrick McKay, who is showrunner on the series, told Vanity Fair that the goal was to make a show for everyone, for kids who are 11, 12, and 13, even though sometimes they might have to pull the blanket up over their eyes if it's a little too scary. So again, they're coming out of the woodwork. But that brings me to the other part of this. Probably. Smeaghole, the first gay hobbit. I like that. Got to play the Star Trek Discovery card. The orcs will be Trump's probably. They want to make Mordor great again. But that brings us to the other part of this. And the arrogance of these people. Lord of the Rings showrunner calls the series the novel Tolkien never wrote. Well, if he never wrote it, then you know what? It doesn't exist. And who the hell are you to say, oh, no, I'm going to take I'm going to make it even better. Who asked you? Rings of Power series takes on a huge origin story from The Lord of the Rings that was never fully told by the author. The massive scale of the new Prime Video series, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, will be used to dive into an important origin story imagined by J.R.R. Tolkien that was never fully fleshed out. Well, you know what? Listen, it was covered already. You told it in a 10-minute preview in Fellowship of the Rings. That whole prelude, that is all you need. And they, but it doesn't show all the diverse characters. Well, nobody cares. An expensive first look piece from Vanity Fair, expansive first look, must be expensive. Co-showrunner Patrick McKay revealed the driving force behind taking on the tale and by making titular rings. Rings for the elves, rings for the dwarves. We know the. Oh, for God's sake! 3 rings for the elves, 7 rings for the dwarf lords, mining in their stone halls. 9 rings for the race of man, doomed to die. 1 ring to rule them all. 1 ring to find them. 1 ring. What was it? 1 ring. 1 ring. 1 ring to rule them all. 1 ring. How's it? It's been years. Help me out here. 1 ring to find them. 1 ring to bring them all. In the darkness, bind them. In the land of Mordor, where shadows lie. If it ain't Tolkien, if it wasn't written by him, yes. Did you know that the Black Hip Salad is actually Tolkien? Yeah. Well, that's them staying ahead of their critics and the censors. Okay. And then 1 ring used by Sauron to see them all. He said, it's the story of the creation of all those powers, where they came from and what they did to each of those races. Can we come up with a novel Tolkien never wrote and do it as the mega event series that could only happen now? Here's the thing. No, you can't, and no, you shouldn't. Amazon decided it can indeed. Fools! With McKay and J.D. Payne at the helm of the gigantic project. 2 guys who I think used to work for Jughead Abrams. And I shouldn't say that because that's actually an insult to Jughead. And who have 0 writing credits to their names. Actually, one of them does have one other writing credit. He wrote 1 episode of Star Trek Discovery, and he's uncredited. So take that as you will. Let's see. With so many different fantasy races and stories to cover, there are 22 main stars in the Rings of Power cast. Some will be familiar to fans of books, such as elves Elrond, Robert Amayo, Galadriel, Morfydd Clark. Others will be tied to new characters created especially for the streaming show, including Arondir, Ismail Cruz Cordova, and Halbrand Charlie Vickers. How and where these characters fit in the story for the Forging of the Rings largely remains to be seen. Fans are waiting a full trailer, receiving announcements released with a twist. The date was written in Elvish, a language created by Tolkien for the novels. Luckily, there are scholars who can translate Elvish. Yeah, because Elvish is derivative of some of the long-lost Scandic languages. They've surmised the trailer's release date is February 13th, Super Bowl Sunday. Even the title announcement Rings of Power has a special twist. Practical effects used instead of CGI. You know, which yada, 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 yada. Series for synopsis details take place during the Second Age. Hobbit. It's in an era which such great previous forge, yada, yada, nobody cares. Okay, like I said, if it didn't happen in the books or didn't happen in the movies, it doesn't count. If you can get through a dry read of the Silmarillion, Tolkien touches on the Rings of Power, which is covered way better beginning the Fellowship of the movie. Yeah, well, but it's a primer. But I mean, like I said, there's no reason for this to be told now again. I like Lord of the Rings. I'm looking forward to seeing how the series turns out. If it's not good, then I just won't watch it. I'd rather not poison the well before it's released. Well, they're poisoning the well already. They're going to the 2016 Ghostbusters playbook. Halloween's Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park. Just because you could doesn't mean you should. Exactly. Listen, if you want to write we're doing something original with it. Well, then make your own thing. Why do you need the Lord of the Rings tagline? Oh, well, because nobody would watch it otherwise. So you're admitting that your work is shit. You're just admitting to me your work is shit, and then it can't stand on its own. There was a guy, Terry Brooks, wrote The Sword of Shannara. He wanted to do Lord of the Rings, couldn't. He made something original. Worked for him. People can't get the rights to stuff all the time, and they create new things. Mario was originally supposed to be Popeye. Couldn't get the rights. The Orville was supposed to be Star Trek. CBS told Seth MacFarlane, yeah, go on, kid. Make your little cartoons about fart jokes. We do real TV here. Who are these assholes' names? Patrick McKay, JJ. Let me see the JJ Abrams link. Patrick McKay, JJ Abrams. There's got to be J. Let me Patrick McKay. Yep. These assholes. There's a Jughead Abrams link. Oh, how did we know? How did I know that Jughead Abrams would have a connection to this? Lord of the Rings hires writers J.D. Payne, Patrick McKay as Amazon series moves to the next stage of development. Yada. Amazon series Jennifer Salk, Patrick McKay. Your features. Yeah, Payne and McKay are rising feature writers who recently worked on Star Trek 4 for producer J.J. Abrams. I hear Abrams was one of a number of high-profile filmmakers and producers who recommended the duo for the job. How did we fucking know? Okay, let's look up these guys. Let's look at these guys. Patrick McKay and who's the other asshole? Payne. Let's see. Patrick McKay. Look, I'm going to share with these guys screen credits. Okay, they're rising stars. Okay, keep in mind they're rising stars. Oh yeah, these guys are hot shit. These guys are going to be big. These guys are so talented. These guys are so talented. Okay. Patrick McKay. Okay, writer. Okay. Lord of the Rings and Powder. Flash Gordon, writer. Escape. Okay, producer. Writer. Flash Gordon, early screenplay announced. Lord of the Rings. These guys are. Wait, hold on. Wait. These guys are hot writers. Where's the writing credits? There's 3 writing credits here. A screenplay for an unmade Flash Gordon movie, an uncredited writer for Star Trek Beyond, and these Lord of the Rings shows. Where are the credits? Okay, let's look up the other asshole. Okay, let's look at the other asshole. Okay, what's this other guy's name is? J.D. Payne. Okay, J.D. Payne. We're going to look up J.D. Payne. Okay, J.D. Payne, IMDb. Okay. Ooh, this guy must have done a lot of really good work here. Oh yeah, this guy. Oh, can't wait to see what he's done. Oh yeah, John D. Payne. Okay, John D. Payne. Okay, here we go. There's IMDb. Ooh, let's take a look. Oh, God, let me tell you, this guy, he's a hot commodity, let me tell you. Flash Gordon. Okay. Guys, what's going on here? He's got 3 credits to his name. And there's a 6-year gap. Really? Is the movie industry just one colossal circle jerk? How did J.J. Abrams become so influential in the film industry? How? I would trust somebody. Where do they find? They all come at the recommendation of Jughead Abrams. Oh, thank you very much, RWX. They all come at the suggestion of Jughead Abrams, a guy who couldn't write his way out of a paper bag. Actually, Phil Mike Chicken, that sounds awesome. This is not proper to him. We've ever seen Elvis Save Miller from Velociraptor shooting him with their Apache helicopters. Seriously. These guys have no credits to their names. No credits. They all just believe the same things that everybody else does. There was another one. There was Lindsay Beers. I'd like to have a few beers right about now. Lindsay Beers, writer. Okay. Oh, Lindsay Beers. Oh, hot writer, hot shit writer coming up. Hot shit writer. Before 2018, she had no screen credits to her name. Then all of a sudden, she comes out of nowhere. Look, Empress, announced. She's getting all this fucking work. How? Lindsay Beers, there's got to be a J.J. Abrams connection with her. There's got to be. Let's see. Lindsay Beers, J.J. Abrams. Let's see. Quentin Tarantino, Lindsay Beer. It's unbelievable. I mean, really. Lindsay Beer, Star Trek podcast. Okay. She worked up, but all I could find is that she was working on the new Star Trek movie for Jughead Abrams and Geneva Robertson. Oh, they wanted two women to write it. Geneva Robertson and Lindsay Beer. So she has a Jughead Abrams connection. Who's this Geneva Robertson? Okay, IMDb, Geneva Robertson Duarte. Okay, let's take a look at her IMDb. Really, I mean, I don't understand it. I just do not understand it. Gotham City Sirens, Mask, Marion, Silver Sable, all of these announced things that are never Untitled Star Trek sequel. That's never going to be made. She co-wrote Captain Marvel. She wrote the story for Captain Marvel and Tomb Raider. Okay, we all know how great Captain Marvel was. Isn't a casting couch where actors get naked? Yes, cast. I'm not saying that. Not saying there was a casting couch involved. Okay, but I'm sure it still exists in certain circles. Really, a bunch of announced movies that are probably never going to be made. And Captain Marvel and Tomb Raider. Listen, I fully acknowledge that talent has to come from somewhere. But you know what? There's a process to prove yourself. Okay? I mean, there should be some sort of way to, you have to work your way up. They're just saying, hey, Lindsay, want to write a Star Trek movie? Okay. Yes, sir, Mr. Abrams. Unbelievable. And if that weren't enough, as I said, Jughead Abrams sink his teeth into, we're going back. Lucasfilm is going back to this well. Star Wars reportedly planning post-sequel trilogy, New Jedi Order project. Really? Are you serious? Brand new report claims that Lucasfilm is actively developing a new Star Wars trilogy set after the sequels about the revamped Jedi Order. Lucasfilm is reportedly developing a new post-sequel Star Wars trilogy revolves around revamped Jedi Order. Yeah, and the amazing Wonder Ray is going to train them. It's been more than a couple of years since Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker hit theaters, supposedly wrapping up the Skywalker saga. No, it wrapped up the Palpatine saga. Palpatine won. For a while, it seemed like Disney wasn't interested in tackling those stories after the Resistance defeated the First Order, but that may not be the case now. That's right, that's not the case, because I'm still in charge. I have plenty more bad ideas where that came from. After Disney bought Lucasfilm, the House of Mouse didn't waste time developing a brand new trilogy. This excited fans, especially after years of not having Star Wars movies. 2015 Star Wars Force Awakens was generally well received, but fans and critics were divided on Star Wars last. Divided? Yeah, that's an understatement. Before Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker even started production, it was already plagued with issues. The original director, Colin Trevorrow, exited the film. While Lucasfilm scrambled to find a replacement, it also needed to find a way to work around Carrie Fisher's untimely death. Ultimately, the movie failed to deliver a satisfying end to the Palpatine saga. Because of this, many presume Disney isn't interested in telling stories after the sequel trilogy. What is there left to do? However, that may not be the case. Former Vanity Fair reporter Joanna Robinson revealed on the Ringerverse podcast via CBR that she's heard whispers that Lucasfilm is actively developing a new trilogy that tackles a revamped Jedi Order, with no doubt with Brie Larson being one of the students. That being said, the journalist also reminded fans you can fill an entire stadium with ideas Lucasfilm has been interested but never realized. Yeah, it doesn't mean they're good. Oh, for God's sake. At this point, Lucasfilm is focused on telling stories and set in the past. After the success of The Mandalorian, they eventually greenlit a string of other shows that either take place before or immediately after the original trilogy. Until this new report, there hasn't been any indication that they are even contemplating tackling the post-sequel trilogy era, especially given people's varying opinions on Star Wars, The Rise of Palpatine. So it's best to take this news with a healthy grain of salt before one gets fully invested in. Nobody's invested in this idea. However, assuming that this report is actually true, it means that Rey, the Amazing Wonder Way in particular, will be back at the Star Wars forefront. At the end of Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, there's a hint that she will rebuild the Jedi Order after learning of Luke Skywalker's failure, but very little is revealed about it thus far. However, the fact that she seems to learn from the mistakes of the Jedi Order is an interesting idea. Yes, because she's the Amazing Wonder Rey. She can do no wrong. Christ almighty. That's right. She's so stunning and brave. Isn't she, Morbid? Ultimate field with ultimate power. Power. Have Jeremy Clarkson play Palpatine. Power! Oh, for God's sake. So anyway, this is where we are, people. This is where we are. There's no James Bond news that I know of. All I know is, let me ask you a question. When do people stop giving a shit about the Olympics? I don't understand. Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh, there's more report about there was this in Polygon. So let me see. Oh, for God's sake. This is the hell that's my life. So there was this in Polygon. Star Trek needs less logic and more crying. Thankfully, Star Trek Discovery is doing just. Nobody said that. Who do we want to be? Oh, it's Michael. But who do we want to be? Who do we want to be? Captain Mikey Spock poses that question to the United Federation of Planets Council at the climax of But to Connect, the 7th episode of Star. I'm losing the will to live. I really am. Now, I read through this before. This is the deliberate troll job. This really is. She just, oh my God. I haven't seen this many people cry since a Spanish soap opera. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, this is so bad. Star Trek Discovery is so bad. And it just came back. It picks up right where it leaves off in its monumental badness. When stories have no logic, there's no point in watching. You're correct, Morbid. You are correct. The Chinese are winning temper tantrum because they're losing. Judges side with them. I wouldn't doubt it. Actually, let me look that up. CCP throws a temper tantrum after losing to Taiwan. China rages over gold medal photo. Dutch journalist interrupted Winter Olympics live shot. Chinese throws temper tantrum. Chinese throw temper tantrum at the Winter Olympics. Let me see. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So yeah, so this is from July. This is from July. Okay, so that's not the story I'm looking for. Yeah, I saw that. Let me see. Hold on. Chinese temper tantrum Olympics. So there's something from Advance Australia. These are old stories, actually. Beijing Olympics, Ellen Gu doesn't care what the U.S. media thinks of her. Okay, well, sports washing by China on thin ice. Okay, what did the N team play? How many? Okay, speak out. All right, well, I can't. Can't find anything about that. Poirot would say, no order, no method. We just need more Timmy. Yeah, we do. Let's see. We got that Timmy.
Timmy!
Oh, brother. So we're coming up on 4 o'clock here. So let's what else did I promise in this stream? I forget. But let's do a little animal news. I want to wrap this up pretty early. Oh, for Christ's sake. Share screen. So I know we all want to watch the game. Some of us do. Sea lion rescued from San Diego freeway is returned to the Pacific Ocean. Sea lion was rescued from the median of a busy freeway in January after some rehab. He was returned to his habitat. San Diego sea lion weaved through traffic on a busy Southern California freeway before it was rescued from a median last month has been returned to the sea, SeaWorld San Diego said Friday. After a full month of rehabilitation, SeaWorld's rescue team, in collaboration with veterinarians and the NOAA, National Oceanographic Association of America, decided the sea lion was ready and approved to go back to his rightful home and was successfully returned to the ocean yesterday morning, the park said in a statement. The animal, estimated to be 200 pounds, graduated from rehab with 2 others that also returned to the ocean on Thursday, SeaWorld said. Video provided by the park shows the animals in containers on a small boat and then slipping them into a clear blue Pacific. On January 7, morning commuters reported that the animal was on the eastbound 94 freeway near Interstate 805, the California Highway Patrol said. After it crossed from a shoulder to a median, Good Samaritans helped corral and the Pinniped, CHP and SeaWorld said at the time. Pinniped. SeaWorld San Diego rescue team used nets to stop the marine mammal before transporting it by truck to its rescue center for a health evaluation and recovery. California sea lion population has been booming, leading San Diego officials to try to balance marine mammals' needs with those of coastal visitors. It has close and popular areas to tourists as part of its response. The freeway location where the animal was rescued, roughly 4 miles from San Diego Bay. How it got to one of the city's denser communities so far from the water isn't clear, but SeaWorld said the animal had a history of ending up in odd places. In November, it was rescued near San Diego International Airport. Well, you want to catch a flight out. In December, it was spotted near at the naval base point at Loma. On the Mission Boardwalk Beach and near Delhi, adjacent to nearby Mission, home of SeaWorld, the park said. So it's not out of the question sea lion could ride again. So there he is.
SeaWorld has been rescuing animals for over 55 years, and to date, we've rescued over 39,000 animals.
So there's the sea lion,
the SeaWorld rescue
and
team
he's
is on
got nets.
to the aid of any injured or ill marine animal.
And little Dougie.
Then that fateful morning, we got a call that there was a sea lion.
Oh, this is yes. And there he goes. Oh, there's that boy.
We
There's
rescued
that
him
boy.
from the median.
Oh, he's
94,
tuckered out.
which is very odd.
Take a look. He's all tuckered out. He's had a rough
A little
day.
bit exciting. We brought
Poor
it
thing's
back
probably
to
scared out of his
SeaWorld
mind.
Rescue. Started his
But
rehabilitation.
unhand me, who man? There he is. He's happy. Big, thick David Crosby mustache. Okay, there he is. He's swimming. Do swimmies. And he's going back. He's going back to the wild.
SeaWorld has
Okay,
been
this is the
rescued.
same video. Oh, there he goes. Here he goes.
And since he was exhibiting normal sea lion behavior, the decision was to return
Okay,
him.
there's his container. There he is. Come on, buddy. Come on, get going. Go on, back in the water. There you go. And he's happy. And I go swimmies now. I'm going to catch me some fish.
Pretty much the best part of the job. It's really neat when we can get an animal in that needs help, we rehabilitate it, and then we take
see,
it back
there
to
he
its
goes.
natural
Goes,
home, give it a
thank
second
you.
chance of life.
Bye-bye. He'll turn up again. Oh, you've made a friend. Look at that.
And be able to help those animals is really an honor for the team.
There you go. And we have a happy ending. Rob, what's the next chicken sandwich? I don't know. Don't know. So okay. So anyway, that's okay. We're gonna end it there. It's a little short, but yes, lucky sea lion. So Discovery made the move to remove all lot. Yes, no wonder. Yes. Yeah, I want to see its cousin on the East Coast. Yeah. Okay, so everyone, it is coming up on 4 o'clock where I am, 6 o'clock on the East Coast. 3 o'clock on the West Coast. So we're going to call it there, I think, before I have a stroke. So we're gonna call it there. I'm gonna call it there, and I'd like to thank everyone for spending a little time with me on this Sunday. Oh yeah, that would be just a look. Everyone, I want to thank everyone for joining us. Everybody, the new people, everybody who subscribed, listened, everyone who watched the video, everyone who called me a racist. Yeah. I guarantee you, no way the next video is going to do as well. Guarantee you. But we'll see. Everybody, we're going to have a good rest of the day. I will report back on what the Lord of the Rings trailer looks like. And have a good rest of the day. Have a good week. Have a good whatever you're having. Stay safe. Take care of each other. And we will catch you next time.